That movie dork here, scoping out number 671 like a big horse's ass, ready to lift some high-dollar trivia from yet another John Hughes classic, Home Alone. Release date, November 10th, 1990. Budget, 18 million clams. Tech specs, shot on the Arriflex 35BL4 and 35-2C, with Zeiss Superspeed and Cook Speed Pancros covering the gate. Burnt onto Eastman EXR 500T 5296 35mm film.
Hell yeah.
Writer-producer John Hughes conceived the idea while going on vacation. I was making a list of everything I didn't want to forget. I thought, well, I better not forget my kids. Developing 8 pages of notes from there, adding in the robber aspect to the story, as Hughes thought kids are naturally scared of them. The film was meant to be directed by Patrick Reed Johnson, but he was committed to Space Invaders, so John Hughes turned to Chris Columbus, who dropped out of Christmas Vacation in 1989 due to a personality clash with Chevy Chase, who treated Chris like dirt. John Hughes never forgot about him, giving Chris the choice of this script or Reach the Rock. Chris thought this was funnier. Chris added the character of Old Man Marley into his rewrite.
Hell yeah.
John Hughes suggested Macaulay Culkin as Kevin due to his great experience on Uncle Buck, but Chris Columbus felt he had a directorial responsibility to do a casting session, meeting with many child actors, like comedian John Mulaney, who was a 7-year-old local Chicago child in an improv group and was offered the role, but his parents refused, ultimately going with John Hughes' first choice. Danny DeVito was considered for the role of Harry, as was Robert De Niro. Joe Pesci, who landed the role, went out of his way to avoid Macaulay Culkin on set, so he would think he was mean.
Buzz, your girlfriend. Woof.
The person playing them was the art director Dan Webster's son, as they didn't want to cast a girl for a part so mean-spirited.
Hell yeah.
John Candy worked for 23 hours filming his scenes, being paid a mere $414, doing the gig as a favor to John Hughes, and in return, he was the only actor allowed to go off script, so what you hear from him is almost entirely improvised.
In Chicago?
No, Sheboygan. Very big in Sheboygan. They love it.
Chris Farley auditioned for the role of Santa Claus, but Chris Columbus wasn't moved by his audition, giving the role to Ken Hudson Campbell instead. This movie and Die Hard are 2 staple Christmas movies for the Polish, as they were 2 of the earliest Western movies they saw after the end of communist rule. Home Alone was released theatrically there on May 22, 1992, and 3 years later on Christmas Eve 1995, the Polish TV station TVP1 aired the film, with increasingly stronger viewership every Christmas Eve since. Macaulay Culkin still refers to Catherine O'Hara as Mom.
Hell yeah.
The Silver Tuna
671.
is a real 100-plus-year-old house, currently valued at 5.5 million biggins as of December 2025.
Woof.
Selected for preservation into the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress in 2023 for being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant, along with the films The Nightmare Before Christmas, Lady and the Tramp, Desperately Seeking Susan, and Love and Basketball. Final bag. 476.7 million greenbacks worldwide, earning its production budget back during the first 4 days, becoming the second highest grossing film of 1990, right behind Ghost and ahead of Pretty Woman. The stellar performance by Macaulay Culkin turned him into a child star in the 1990s, and his brother Kieran, who played Fuller, now has an Oscar for his performance in the 2024 Jesse Eisenberg film, A Real Pain. Thanks for watching this incredibly dorky video about the holiday comedy classic, Home Alone. Share your favorite quotes, moments, and your favorite movies.
You guys give up, or you're thirsty for more?
I'm always looking for a new mark. Until next time, friends, when we go out to the coast to get together, have a few laughs.